Hi, everyone, and welcome to the video on the glycocalyx, more commonly referred to as the capsule. So you can see the phrase glyco in glycocalyx, and that tells you that there's a carb or a sugar involved. And so the glycocalyx is actually a sticky, sugar-rich coating that is found outside of the cell wall of some bacteria. When this sugary layer is very well organized and firmly attached to the cell, we refer to it as a capsule. Now, this is an accessory structure. Not all bacterial cells have a capsule, but most pathogens do. And the reason for that is because capsules can help a pathogen evade the immune system, specifically a process called phagocytosis. And phagocytosis is when an immune cell is essentially going to track down a pathogen and then it's going to engulf it and digest it. So it's essentially eliminating the pathogen. And the pathogens don't want that to happen. And so they tend to have this sugary capsule that makes it hard for our immune systems to essentially grab hold of them in the proper orientation needed to ingest and digest them. So it's a pretty sneaky little structural advantage that a lot of pathogens have. The capsule can also help bacteria attach to surfaces and to one another. So it's an important part of biofilm formation. We touched on biofilms in Module 1, and we talked about how these are communities of different organisms. And like you see here in the picture, they tend to grow upwards so they can clog things like catheters and heart valves and really be problematic in nosocomial or healthcare settings. And these biofilms or the components of them secrete this hydrogel that surrounds the biofilm and it kind of protects it, it encases it. And so it makes these types of bacteria really hard to treat because when the antibiotics enter the body, a lot of times they have a hard time permeating this hydrogel. So this hydrogel is kind of protecting them and kind of a nuisance for us. And then when desperate times call for desperate measures, this sugary layer can serve as a nutrient reserve. So the glycocalyx is a structure that we are going to come back to quite a bit in this course. It is what we refer to as a virulence factor. And a virulence factor is essentially a strategy that pathogens use to establish an infection. And so, being the sticky structure that can evade the immune system and form these biofilms really makes this structure pretty advantageous to pathogens. And in lab, we're going to talk about the capsule stain, which is what this top left picture is, and how we can view them under the microscope. So, pretty snazzy. Stay tuned for that. All right, y'all, that's it for now on our good friend, the capsule. Please let me know if you have any questions.